Hi, this is Colorful Foresight where we intuitively connect from within. And it's woo woo time where we connect our woo woo into our mundane living. Hi, this is Sylvia of Colorful Foresight where we intuitively connect from within. Here we have Debra Diana. How are you?
I'm great. Yes, my name is Debra Diana. I'm a life coach, meditation facilitator, and I work in higher education. You can learn more about me at www.debradianacoaching.com.
Awesome, awesome. So today we got a good topic, listening to your heart and intuition. Because I feel, you know, a little bit about me. I could be an overthinker as well. And sometimes I don't follow my heart because my monkey mind is active. So that's nothing, it's not a good, bad thing. It's just awareness. So I was thinking maybe today we could talk about what happened and what is the positive when we listen to our heart and intuition.
Mhm.
So anything comes to mind, an example of that, like a life experience?
Sure. Well, first, I just want to share that listening to your heart is, because that's actually I resonate deeply with that. That's part of the work that I do and things I like to share with others is about heart-centered living. And so what does that mean? Heart-centered living is listening to your heart, which is spirituality. So let me back that up. Spirituality is the path of the heart. What does that mean? It means as you follow the deep resonance, the deep love and joy and peace that you feel when you are connected to the things that bring you joy, you're actually resonating from the inside out. And spirituality is the experiences for you to grow within your heart, you living and experiencing your life, connecting deeply with nature and the world around you from your heart. Because everything is love. Even the things that happen to us, we learn through joy or we learn through pain. And it's not fun to learn through pain, but in the end, if you break it all down, it's still love because it's trying to move you forward on your soul's journey. And the heart is your path.
Nice. I think you mentioned earlier before we went live that a great example about listening to your heart and intuition when you moved.
Yes, yes. So I am in Miami Beach. I have a beautiful condo here. Pinch me. I'm working for the University of Miami. I'm all great things. But this all happened within 1 year. I've been here 1 year. I'm originally from New York and lived there my whole life. And then I will say that I've traveled a lot. My family's from New York, where we're Italian Americans. We spend time in Italy, but we're New Yorkers. During the pandemic, I was just like anyone else. I was doing a lot of meditation to support people to feel connected to themselves, but also I was living indoors, working indoors, staying indoors, just like all of us were. And I thought to myself, I can be doing this anywhere. And so this is where I listened in, right, to my gut knowing, which is the intuition piece. But my heart said, where do you want to be? And sometimes what's really, really cool is that the universe is always listening to us. I had for a while, like I've been coming down to Miami. We have some family down here. I, used to row on the crew team in college. I used to came down here in the winters, and I always loved it. Like my heart loved who I was when I'm here, close to nature, close to water, being outdoors, sunny, beautiful. Like I just always loved it. And then I would go back and live my life. And then something said like, you would feel real like, where would you want to be? I took a trip a couple of years ago, which was during the center of the pandemic. Took a car ride with my boyfriend, and we went from New York down to Florida, down to the Miami area, and we noticed that no one was wearing masks. People were outdoors, and we were like, wow, everyone seems okay. And part of it is because everyone had an outdoor living kind of lifestyle. Whereas in New York, unfortunately, it was one of the epicenters. We have crowded city and subways, and it was just hard for New Yorkers. So what happened is I started to say, like, where could I be? Like, where would I want to be? I can be doing this anywhere. And I had, my heart was like, I would love to be down in Florida. There's some other factors, but it was like, could I see myself thriving down here? And one of the factors in me coming down was wellness-centered living, which is part of the work I do. So I don't just coach people, I actually live what I'm coaching. And part of it is about feeling into your heart and, clearly feeling connected to what's important to you, what you love, what your deepest desires are, what your passions are. And I wanted a balance, like I've always been a career gal, but I also have a deeply spiritual side. I love to be in water and meditate, and I could spend like hours on a mountain if I could and just be in silence. There's so many ways to live. And that's the whole point. We don't have to do things from the way that society has a standard. All of these systems and standards, everything is tumbling down. Why are they tumbling down? Because consciousness is raising. And part of the consciousness raising is about us tuning in as human beings to our heart center, which is love, which breaks down, our ego.
So speaking of ego, like, how did he get, like, what would that switch when you're listening to your heart and you're hearing your intuition, but your mind might be like, no, but I can't do that. What made you overcome that?
I mean, I would say that if I didn't have any spiritually based practices, I would be crazy because I'm an overthinker and I think a lot and think. So what meditation has helped me to connect deeply to my breath. Meditation helps you connect deeply to the present moment. Taking a deep breath, you can feel it go into your heart, and then you have to listen, like, are you thinking of what is right from a logic, or are you following this? It's a small whisper. The heart is soft. The heart doesn't scream at you. It doesn't give you shoulds or coulds or woulds or you can't or you have to. It doesn't give you any of that. It's like, just try it. Or it's just seeing the best in a situation, but like, it's like humble courage. That's the feeling of the heart.
And you know what's interesting? We've known each other for a long time. You always were desiring to live by the beach. So, while you lived in New York, you were looking at some Long Island places and you were visualizing, but who knew? Maybe just wasn't the same state. So now you live right by the water.
It's true. You're right. Years ago, I remember, like, and that's the thing, like, your heart can sing. Like, I don't know about you, but the way that I have a very, very big imagination. And sometimes what I love to do is drop into my heart and then, imagine what it's thinking. Because a heart is intelligence. It has its own intelligence system, just like our brain does. So we can be cerebral, which is thinking, which is nothing wrong. It's a part of our brains are what's made us the predominant species on the planet, because we have the ability to reason. It's a beautiful thing, right? What man can do. But if we use just our logic, then things happen, which we are seeing in present day: wars and conflict and tension and things that are not the heart. The heart is compassion and empathy. It's it's a consciousness. It's seeing, it's forgiveness. It's from a spiritual base, whatever your practice is. It's who you worship. It's the essence.
So what was that push, that final push? That, okay, I'm going to make that the reality. Do you remember? What was that moment?
It was me writing out my values, and it was one of my core values is passion. Like, I have to feel passionate about whatever I'm doing. It's actually very important. And I got excited. At the possibility of being down here. So what I did is I came a couple times, and then last June, I a couple months before I decided to go, I gave the courage to talk to my boss, and I got the approval to work full time remote in Florida, which was kind of amazing. I just asked. It's not like, so I got a special permission that no one usually gets, but I got it because I asked. And that's another thing the heart does. The heart is not afraid to ask for things that are a deep desire.
No, but that's great.
My logic said that's not company policy. It's not a good idea. It's not allowed. But my heart said, just ask.
Well, that's important because you have a very good career. You had a very good career in New York and in working in higher education. And so just to leave wasn't like an option maybe originally. But then when you saw with the option, and this is like great for anybody watching, like how could they plan it to go to that next step? So because you were listening to your intuition, um, it was like bigger than yourself, right? And then
that plus coaching piece is the self-leadership, right? So self-leadership means that before you can lead others, you need to be able to lead yourself. How do you lead yourself? You need to be connected to your own core values, your principles, and you have to create a path for yourself. So I created a path to come to Florida. I created the vision for it, and I mapped out the steps, and then I followed the steps. And then there are times when you don't know how it's going to go. So for example, I'm here in June. I have this job, but I knew I needed to get a new job down here. I needed to find permanent housing. Like there's so many, I needed to know where, I didn't even know how to go around the block. Like I didn't know anything. And where was going to go? And like things just started to unfold. My friend offered her condo for 6 months. I started to apply for roles. I met people like, we had friends up north from Miami, but I was like, nope, I want to be down in Miami. I wanted to work at University of Miami. I wanted to be down in Miami Beach. I literally manifested living on the beach.
that must be wild.
Any universities, and I got my first choice role. I'm not saying it happened in a minute. It did happen in about.
But you know what I like? Once you listen to your intuition, you finally say yes. The universe provided you all these opportunities. Like your friend for 6 months, you were able to work from home. I mean, yeah, you were able to work for the university from New York City, and then it's like it seemed like once you said yes, it just all translated.
Once I said yes, I committed to the vision and I stayed connected to what I desired. The other thing is I love this formula, which I think is a very powerful formula for manifesting clarity, truth, and power. First, you be clear about what you want, which that's where you can use your heart to tap into your desires. Then second is the truth. What is coming up for you, right? So for me, it could have been like, I am very happy. I have my family, my friends, my life is here in New York. So that's true. And what else is true? I'm ready for something. I'm ready for something new. I'm ready. So what does that look like? And then the power was empowering myself to take action on the passions and vision that I saw. So that's where you can co-create with the universe, right? And I do believe in manifestation and connecting with source, but our heart literally will guide us like a guiding compass to follow your passions. And so many of us in society think that we get stuck in a rut, right? We've all been there. We get stuck in a rut. We do the same thing day in and day out, and we think it has to be this way. That's just staying in your comfort zone. So I will say I'm proud that I took those steps forward, but that's called leaning in, just leaning in, and you can use your heart to help you stay soft and humble, to like what's true to you. It's like, and you can make a left turn and be like, okay, well, that didn't feel good. Or, and it's like, what does your heart think is right? What's true?
And you know what, even more, I'm going to make this a bonus point. You're close with your family, you do have some friends in Miami. And it turned out as you were manifesting, right? You started coming along. One of your sister ended up moving not too far from you. So it's like you still have your life in New York, and now you have some family that's coming in your way. So you manifest your own place, got the university you wanted to work in, and you got one of your favorite relatives, your sister, to move not far from you. You have other relatives that's within like an hour and a half. So how has it been like having a whole new set of dynamic, like family dynamic in Florida? Because you do have some. It's not like, some people have none. And your friends. How's that dynamic, especially with your fiance? Like how you've been working through that?
Maybe 5 years earlier, I had a moment where I wanted to move to Las Vegas, Nevada. I had a group of spiritual friends over there, and you know, outside of like the Las Vegas Strip, it's very beautiful. You know, there's mountains and, you know, there's thriving communities like Las Vegas.
Right.
I say Nevada because it's just gorgeous. I love it. I still do. But I didn't have any family there. And so I felt very apprehensive to make a move like that to Nevada. The thing is, following my heart, knowing I had family down in Florida, it felt very doable. I had my sister and family, my uncle, probably other relatives too, but, you know, just like extensions of the heart, right? Families in the heart. And it made me feel, it almost was like a green light to move forward. And I don't regret it. It feels amazing.
Sure.
So I love being down here. It feels expanded. It feels like we expanded our family. Like it's kind of amazing. Now,
That's
I
great.
would visit Nevada, and I would even consider living there if I had other family there. You know, I think it is important for me to feel like I have some connection. And then my friends, I built a network down here from NYU because I worked there for many years, 15 plus years in higher ed. And then now I'm a leader on the South Florida alumni chapter down here. And I've met incredible people a lot of New Yorkers, but people from all over who are connected to community. It's one of my favorite things to do is create engaged community. So
Yeah, that's great. I'm very happy for you.
thanks.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. It was wonderful to be here, Sylvia. Thank you for having me and talking about the heart.